Welcome back to Nerd Rage. I'm your host, an opinionated nerd, Spazcat. This week's episode is about AMC's Fear the Walking Dead pilot, a spin-off of the Walking Dead series. Although this is technically a spin-off because it's in the same universe but deals with different people in a different state, it's also a prequel to the original series because it takes place during the 5 weeks that the main character, Rick Grimes, is unconscious in Georgia before the outbreak really gets started. The first 4.5 minutes are super intense and stressful as we see a young man who we later learn is a junkie by the name of Nick, waking up and creeping around a condemned church in the middle of the day looking for his quote-unquote girlfriend, Gloria? We're not entirely sure who she is to him. We find the girl in the basement, already dead and turned into a zombie, chowing down on the other men that were present, which scares Nick out of his drug-induced mind and sends him running into the street where he gets hit by a car. Holy fuck, this is the first 4.5 minutes, so strap in, folks. Unfortunately, it gets really super dull after that. We meet Nick's family, his mom, Madison, his mom's boyfriend, Travis, and his sister, Alicia, as the cops question him about his ranting about the deaths and his suspicious behavior. I won't say they're an average family, but many families do deal with substance abuse of some kind. And you also see how the teens react to the boyfriend, Travis. You also meet Travis's ex-wife and son, who stereotypically resents him and doesn't want to visit for the weekend, nor does the son wish to hang out with Dad's new family. We also find out much later that the daughter, Alicia, has a secret boyfriend. Shocker. I realize we need to do setup of new characters and get to know their connection to each other and so on, but do we have to hit every typical TV family problem cliche possible? I mean, I know we need drama later down the road that's going to get brought up again in between running for their lives, but really? And seriously, I love the character Tobias. He's your typical bully bait kid in high school, but he also seems to be the only one who knows about anything that's happening. So he actually prepares to hole up and defend himself, although bringing a knife to a school with a metal detector isn't the smartest thing in the world. He seems to be the only one who knows about anything that's happening, and for some stupid reason, no one listens to the one person who's warning everyone about impending doom, which annoys the living fuck out of me. Two major things really piss me off about this episode. The first is that the main problem is that Nick's family believes for the most part of the episode that what Nick saw was a drug-induced hallucination and nothing is in fact real. So there's a lot of second guessing for the characters about whether he's right or not. But for the viewer, who is most likely an avid Walking Dead fan, it's just annoying and slows down the show. Because we saw what happened with Nick, and we know what's coming. We know shit's gonna go down. So I don't appreciate being treated like a newbie to my own fandom. Thank you. The second is the mom, Madison. She seems to be super convinced that if there was a problem, the government or other officials in charge of the country or whatever would be warning people about what was happening and doing something. While I'm aware that many people would hold this belief in reality, and I realize that avid fans would say that zombies don't exist in their world, so no one would guess what was happening, and many officials wouldn't know what to say to the public anyway, the least they could do or say was for people to stay inside and enforce some sort of curfew or lockdown so they could get a handle on the outbreak and actually figure out what the fuck is happening. But no, because of their lack of communication, everything goes to shit. What I really wanted from this episode was a lot more stuff to happen. Anything. It feels like there is far too much setup here, learning about the characters, and not enough zombies, which is what we're here for. There isn't even a lot of weird stuff happening either, just a vague mention from the principal to Madison about a lot of kids and staff staying home quote-unquote sick. While a zombie outbreak would most likely start in the homeless or junkie communities in a big city, you would think a lot more people would go missing and there would be like walls of missing posters everywhere, which would be suspicious as fuck. All we see is a few missing posters, like 4 or 5, when the parents are driving around looking for Nick after he escapes the hospital, and Alicia getting stood up by her boyfriend at the beach. And a side note, I was so sure the boy was dead. He didn't answer her text because I was so sure he was long gone. So the episode continues to drag on like a walker with a broken leg until about 10 minutes before the end of the show. where Alicia is talking with friends about a viral video of cops shooting an aggressive man and the man getting back up until one of them shoots him in the head. Then the school is shut down for a half day by the district due to the shooting, which Alicia thinks is fake. Sounds a lot like her fucking mother to me. Then we see Nick trying to score from his old best friend Cal, who we find out is his dealer, who thinks Nick told on him to the cops, so he drives him out to a deserted area to kill him, but Nick fights back, takes the gun, and kills him first. Nick then goes to his parents and brings them back to show them what he's done, only we find Cal's turn and comes after them. Finally some fucking zombies in a zombie show, 5 minutes before the end of the goddamn show. My favorite part would have to be when little rattled Nick finally slams the truck into Cal backwards and drives over him again and sends him flying, but then Cal still turns his head as if to come after them again because they don't know to shoot or stab him in the head yet and destroy the brain. Overall, a huge letdown for me as an avid Walking Dead fan. The pilot did not live up to the hype or the standards of the original series. But you'll just have to watch and judge for yourself.